Do you think you could pick a favorite venue that you played at or location?
There was the last night of the whole stretch overseas. We played at a place called Coco in London, and that's a pretty historic venue. And it was sold out, and it was just
really.
I don't know. Words can't really describe it. I loved, other than the show aspect, I loved Australia. It was a beautiful place. It was gorgeous
weather.
I really
like being over in Europe. Like when we were in Germany, I really had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically,
the whole thing was awesome.
Yeah, really.
It's hard to kind of pinpoint one, but I would say that London show was pretty awesome.
I was watching some YouTube interviews of you guys this morning, and in an OA interview, you said that you didn't consider the band famous yet. Do you think that's changed? Would you consider yourself famous?
I wouldn't.
No?
No.
Even after being overseas?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, but what is fame, really? I don't know. The analogy or the example I always give is if we were famous, we'd be making a ton of money, and that's not the case. But we're so fortunate to even have people show up to shows at this point still, and fortunate enough to be on a bus and have air conditioning. And I mean, there's a lot of things that I feel like a lot of people could take for granted, and we just are still trying not to. And it's pretty incredible that people still care. So.
Yeah. Has the band helped any charities? Do you guys have any association with charities?
We do. We most recently did something here before we left for this tour with Invisible Children. It's an organization that's trying to stop this, 25-year-long war in the Congo. And there's a man named Joseph Kony who's abducting children and making them fight in his army. And it's like, we actually just visited the offices in San Diego, and that was
really incredible group of people.
Yeah, it's always interesting trying to associate yourself with something, but I guarantee you that we're going to be doing something in the near future, dealing with human rights and just kind of feeling comfortable in your own skin. And you know, we would like to tie in the gay rights aspect of everything. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that we want to definitely want to pursue.
We've got plenty more things on the agenda. So.
Well, that's awesome that you guys can like contribute your guys' profession to something that can help.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think
that's what we were talking about. Is that
I think we're at that stage right now where it's, you know, we could either go one of two ways. We could continue to make music, which is something that comes first and foremost, but we can make music and not do anything to help anybody but ourselves, you know what I mean? And that's not what we want to do right now. I feel like there's a fork in the road. We feel like there's enough people who care about us and about our music that we'd like to deliver a message and a cohesive, you know, voice about how we feel about things. You know, it might not work for everybody, but.
Out of curiosity, so when you guys are on tour and you're traveling on the road, you turn on the radio. What band do you like to listen to?
Well, it's not usually the radio, but we listen to so much music.
We try to. I mean, this guy tries to keep new music coming through. We're generally listening to his computer if we're listening to anything.
Yeah, I'm a hog. I'm a music hog.
No, it's good.
I hog it all. But
we basically he'll play like a new playlist every so often, and then everyone's like, "Hey, can you please make me that playlist, man?"
But right now, I mean, it's hard not to listen to Augustana or Austin Gibbs because the music is so infectious and the people are just so awesome that create it. So,
yeah, so definitely we've been listening to a lot of them.
They both have new records out, they're both incredible, and I think that's the stuff that gets caught in my head the most, just because we're hearing it all night and then play it all day. So.
Being with each other so often, like obviously you guys are great friends, but do you ever have to adapt to each other's moods? I mean, do you ever get sick of each other? Like, how do you deal with that?
I think there was definitely times when we were, over the past 4 years, where, you know, we've had to do that and get used to how each other works, but I feel like it's really been
It's just a learning.
We always take it as a learning process. We never, you know, there never becomes bad blood over anything. It's just we learn how to, you know, if somebody's having a bad day, you kind of let them have a bad day.
Yeah, you can kind of tell. I mean,
yeah, we're really.
But we also
like
try to be very
reading
vocal about how everybody's feeling.
Yeah,
like,
making making an opinion heard on something. So.
You know, in the past, you know exactly what gets under people's skin, and in the past we used to just take it to the extreme every time, even if they were having a terrible day. And I feel like the more we grow up, the more we realize that people need their space and they need to just kind of vent. So, but it's I mean, imagine living with how many 9 other girls on a bus. Like, it would get gnarly, man. It gets gnarly with us. So, but we like each other.
As a wrap-up question, I've heard 2 things about your guys' band name. Okay, did you guys name it the Maine because of a street on the way up to northern Arizona, or is it based off one of the band Ivory's songs?
It's off one of the band Ivory's songs, and like the first interview that I think I ever did with the band, I don't know what I just panicked and I like said something about the street. But in my defense, there was also a street while I was going snowboarding up north that was called Maine, but it was spelled M-A-I-N-E. And I don't know, I think I just tied it all together and ran with it. Band names are like...
I wasn't in that thought.
Band names are kind of like dog names. It's really hard to pick a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, with a child, like, you can name your child whatever and it's probably all right, but with a dog, much like a band, it's like, you're only going to be here for a little while and I just got to name you something, so...